Is patience the key to success? Well, if you're like me, patience is not something that comes easy, and it can feel really hard and even steal your joy sometimes. So in today's short video, that's precisely what I'm going to talk about. Are you ready? Let's go. Welcome back. My name is Dom, and I help people to step into their truth and power. We live in the information age. The only problem is that the information everybody seems to get these days is that every other person is living a better life than they are. It's true, isn't it? We see news about a 12-year-old kid who made millions posting funny videos on social media. We see a businesswoman who brought herself a brand new exotic sports car. And we're always seeing the newest couples, the freshest star in the industry, the latest technology that seemingly just suddenly makes our current technology obsolete. It never stops. It's become a hyper-epitomized flood of information that makes us see the extremes of everything. Everything, including trivial matters, seem like a life and death situation, which only mounts pressure on us. And it doesn't end there. Since this skewed information is so quickly and widely dispersed, we find that everyone around us is also reinforcing that pressure. It all winds up giving us the impression that we are being left behind. We're lagging, that we're not enough, and that our lives suck and are somehow becoming worse. We're left feeling like we must be doing something wrong or not doing enough, and we need to respond either more quickly or more drastically. So how are we typically responding to all this? Most of us with even more pressure. We crank up the demands that we place on ourselves. We multitask. We add even more tasks to the schedule. We limit time with friends and family. We tend to double book things, or we add hair-splitting deadlines. No time can be spared. We must work. We must hustle, hustle, hustle. Hustle, hustle, hustle until we're able to achieve that grand goal as quickly as we can. This is because we live in an instant as soon as possible society. We want things now. We want to do it now because it seems every other person has already done it or is about to do it. What we don't seem to factor in is the bias of the survivor self. The bias of the survivor self. The bias of our survival self is the logical error we are making of concentrating on the people or the things that made it past some selection process and overlooking those that did not, typically because of their lack of visibility. This leads to some very false conclusions in several different ways. For every successful person we see, there are a whole lot more who tried to do what they did and failed to succeed, failed to do it. Even amongst the success stories, there are still those who are doing a whole lot better than us, at least when you factor in the age or the stage of life we are living in for ourselves. Society seems to have relegated the virtue of patience right to the back burner. When was the last time you've been told to be patient at work? When was the last time your partner told you to have patience? Seldom are we ever advised to be patient, to wait for our turn, or to wait for our season, or to go at your own pace, and to achieve your own success based on what your own definition of success is, not based on someone else's. But there's a reason for this saying. Consider Mother Nature for just a moment. Everything takes its time to grow and to blossom. A seed planted today remains buried for days and sometimes even weeks before sprouting. Then they take even longer to grow and mature and to yield a good harvest. This is the same with all living things too. The birds, fish, cattle, and of course, us humans. Yes, us humans too are part of nature. We follow the same code. But somewhere along the line, we have forgotten this. We treat ourselves like machines. And like machines, wear and tear takes its toll the harder you drive them. No matter how great the talent or efforts, some things, most things, are just going to take time. No matter what you think of the man, Warren Buffett once said, "A mother can't produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant," because it just doesn't work like that. Good things simply take time, and the best things in life happen at their own time. Consider the sun and the moon. They both glow in splendor, lighting up the skies, yet they seem to know when to wait for the other to shine. There is no one outshining the other. They simply just wait for their turn. And our lives really aren't much different. We have our times and we have our seasons. There are so many people wanting and believing for overnight success, but this is just too short-sighted. Most overnight successes are actually the result of years of work and commitment. We only see them when they've reached the peak. Most don't see the daily work and the commitment that it took to get there. We chase inordinate ambitions and hold ourselves to unrealistic standards and expectations. We beat ourselves up for failing and torture ourselves for obsessing about those who, in their own time, succeeded. The sad thing about all of this is that even when we manage to achieve our dream, for example, when our time finally comes, most quickly forget about it and start obsessing about a new dream. And how sad that as humans, we've really seemed to have lost our way. It takes a certain level of awareness to be able to catch yourself doing this, to realize that there would never be an end to this chase. There will always be a bigger, better dream to chase. Realize that you aren't really chasing anything. You are simply obsessed with chasing. And that is why the best thing you can do for yourself is to always be reminded of what is truly important. We've got to ask ourselves, what is it that we absolutely need to live a good life? What is important to you? And make sure that your response to that question isn't another attempt to chase something else. Be sure that it's a genuine understanding of what your values really are. What would it take to do that? And once you become clear on that, you've created what I refer to as your big picture. To someone, their big picture might be finishing college, or starting and running a profitable business, or settling down with the love of their life, or maybe having a family, or contributing to something that they feel really strongly about, that they believe in and passionate about. To you, it might be different, but in either case, it is important. And clarifying your big picture has so many benefits, one of which is that it helps you to know what is important and what you should be grateful for. And it also helps you to put things in perspective so that you don't get lost in the chase again. So always remember to be patient with yourself. This is something that is very, very present for me right now in my life because I'm experiencing a lot of change right now in various areas of my life all at once. I have more patience with other people than I do myself. I'm very hard on myself. But patience is the kind of thing that I don't fall into naturally for myself. I'm a type A personality, so I'm the kind of guy that once I make my decision, I'm on it. And the need to have patience feels like it's slowing me down and even sometimes stealing my energy and joy to get this shit done that I want to get done, that I want to accomplish. But I have to remind myself that there are learning curves and there are experiences that I have to have. And if I don't slow down, I'll burn out. I'll burn out before I even get started. How many times has that happened to you? Right? I know, and this is precisely why it happens, because we fail to realize that it takes time. It takes time, it takes resilience, which requires patience, to move through these learning curves and experiences. We must have patience. Success always begins with patience and the commitment to put in the due diligence necessary for excellence. Yet patience is not easy to come by. Patience is the one virtue that serves us well, especially in our relationships and if you are a business person. Patience takes time and it takes a conscious effort to master, but impatience can lead to our demise. So if you know that you're living in your passion and being divinely led there, hang in there and never give up. Have patience and trust where your heart is leading you to go. Your time will come and the break you've been waiting for will arrive. Enjoy the journey, enjoy each day, and enjoy where you are right now in this moment, because when we show up consistently in that, one day everything you've worked for will eventually begin to pay off. So I'm curious, what do you find most challenging when it comes to having patience? I invite you to drop that and share it in the comments below, because I'd like to take a moment to encourage you. And I'd also like to just take a moment to invite you to join my brand new free online community, Pro Empowerment Online. I'm sharing valuable content there in the newsfeed of that community each week. But even more, you'll have the ability to join in the conversation in a community where you're not going to be judged, where you can share freely with like-minded people without feeling that judgment or without being shut down or even censored for your beliefs. To join me in the community, it's 100% free. Just click on the Pro Empowerment Online link in the comments and description box below. And so with that, I would like to thank you for joining me today for this video. I love you for being here. And until I connect with you again for my next video, stay well, stay healthy, and stay empowered.